Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 112 on the 28th of July, I believe it is today. Um, I can't believe we're at the end of July already. I've just been flicking through the May to August catalogue and thinking I'm not ready for this to finish this month, next month, because there's so many beautiful things that I still want to explore. But today I am going to be using Velvet Meadow. This is the Velvet Meadow page in the catalogue. Now, when I saw this on stage and felt it, I was just overwhelmed by it. I loved it. So I wanted to show you today. It's got, when I was a little girl, my mum and dad bought me a velvet dress, and this reminds me so much. This is a velveteen paper that comes with it. It's really touchy-feely, white, this green, and a pink. So just to show you that those come with it. And then these are this is the DSP. Whoops, I get it all up so you can see that quickly. This is one of my favorites, this one here. I love this one. And the other side too. And I hadn't used this one, but I've used this one quite a lot in my cards, and it's got another lovely side. There's this one. And I've used this side, not so much the other side. It's probably one of my least favorites. There's this one. And that's the full sheet of that one. This one I've used a lot. Makes beautiful cards just by itself. And then there's this one, which would also make a lovely scrapbook page. So those are the DSPs, and I'm going to use some of the DSPs today. I've got to pop that down there. I'm going to make this card here. Now, if you look at it, it looks complicated. I'll move my catalogue as well. And because it's been sitting folded up, it doesn't want to, but it stands up like that. But when you look at it from the front, that's how it looks. Now, it looks quite complicated, but really isn't. So let's get, it was inspired by Jill Andreas. It's called an arched pop-out card. Okay, so let me show you what I have here. Just pull everything out. Okay, so we used the everyday arches in this, and I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's starting from the largest one to the smallest one. Now, the easiest way is to cut out 3. So I'll cut out 3 in Peaceful Pine of these ones, because that's going to be the base for each of my cards. And then in the in-between ones, I've cut 2 out in the DSP, and I've cut one out in Lost Lagoon two-tone cardstock. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using today. So let's quickly put this together. And it's not as complicated as it looks, as I said. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this piece, which is basic white, which is die number 2 on the back. So let me get my tape. So it's going on the back, on the very, very back, because this is where I would write. So I'm going to make these up first, okay? And then I'm going to get this one, which is the same size as this one, number 2. And I'll pop that on the front of that. And that's the first layer basically done. Let's try the second layer. Not going to put anything in the back, but I'm going to put this gorgeous one. And this one is 4, and this one is 3. Okay, so that's 4, and this is 3. So I'm going to put 4 on 3, like that. And that's the second layer. Now, before I do the final layer, I'm going to get, this is two-tone cardstock. And the amazing thing is I've embossed this with the fern, but when I use a sanding block, can you see what happens? The cardstock, it changes color. So you haven't tried this with the two-tone cardstock, it is very, very clever. So, depending on how much you take off, you end up with that. And that's the what I've taken off. So I'm going to get rid of that. So it's not on my table. Put it in my box. Okay, so I'm ready to pop that on that. All right. So let's do that next. Okay. Now, the next thing I do is I've got a piece of cardstock. This here was one piece, went like that. And it was, I did it in inches because that's what she did. 3.5 by 5 3/4. And I scored 3.5 side at, I'll turn it over so you can see, 3/4 of an inch, 1.5, 2 1/4, and 3. And that gives me that. So what I've done then, I'll leave those to the side for the moment, it's I put double-sided tape on that one and that one. And the reason I've done that is, but before I do that, I'm going to pop this and make this into like a cube. So I hadn't folded it, but that's okay. So pardon me coughing. So I'm making that like a cube. Can you see that? Okay, and that's there. And then this is the other bit. So because it was 5 3/4, I was able to cut the pieces 3 1/4 by 3.5 and 3.5. So 3.5 was this width. The other one ends up being 2.5. So this is 2.5 and this is 3.5 or 3 1/4. Oops, I'm gonna, before I do that, I'm gonna do the same thing with this. I'm gonna make a cube as well. So make it up. Already folded this one. Here we go. So we've got these two tubes, okay? Now, you can see I've got double-sided tape. So I can put these back two together, okay? So all I'm going to do is take the top of the double-sided tape, like that. Get the back and pop it away. And just pop it on the bottom so it's level with the bottom, okay, like that. And then I'm going to take the other side off and the other side off, and it's great if you do this all first because it makes it so much easier. And then I'm going to place this one on top like that. So that's my first part of my card made, as you can see. Okay, and then I can put this one on, and where I've joined it, that's going on the bottom. Oh, my watch is pinging. And I'm going to do just one of these. I'm not putting the other bit on yet. Okay. I'm going to pop that on about the middle. Too far. About there, I think is about right. Just check and see. Yep, that's about good. So I'm going to leave that like that for the moment. Okay. Now, as you can see, then I've decorated the front. So I've die cut out. There are dies with this, with the flowery meadow dies. These ones here cut out the pink flowers. These ones here cuts out this double one. And yeah, so you can use that. And I stamped this one. And yeah, I just did some die cut. There's the dies there. I die cut that one. So that's the die cut for that one. And you can die cut these. So let me get these all out so you can see. I've done a little bit of prep beforehand to make this quicker. Got lots in here, more than I will use. Okay, so I've got my glue. And the first thing I'm going to do, actually, I might put put my flowers on first. Okay, so I've got these ones and some single ones as well. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this one, I think. That will be my first job. And I've pre-cut the dimensionals so from this side to finish this off. And one more. And good morning if you're um, joining me this morning, because yeah, it's been a cool morning. I was out really early. I went to the Cairo early this morning because I've had a painful back, and all I'm going to do is place that on the card there. Okay. Now I'm going to actually do my sentiment next. So let's get that together. It's got a little bit of orange on it. And the reason I'm doing the sentiment next, I'll show you why. I want to fit everything above it, and I don't want them to be hiding. So let's get the wax off. And I'm just going to pop that right on the bottom. Okay, like that. Table it over a tiny little bit so it's more centered. So many reasons to celebrate. Okay, now I've cut out the daisies in Daffodil Delight, and I have, oh, there's the one that I had the dots on. That's okay. I've got another one. And the little center I've cut out of Berry Bliss. And I've just put those together, and I'm going to, actually I might leave that to last. Let me get my leaves first of all. These are cut out from the DSP, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of each leaf and pop that in up there. Okay, it doesn't show up really at the moment, but it will. Okay, then I've got a few more here, a few more single ones. I might use this one next. I might use a couple of these, I think. And that one. Okay. And I'll pop that one in there. And I need to remember when I'm using this to do my bev trick with the rubber band around it to hold that out of the way. Okay, and I've got another one here. And I think I haven't got this one on the other one, but I think I might put that one there. Okay, now let's move these all out so I can see what I've got. Got that and that and that. Okay, I stamped this in Berry Bliss and in Peaceful Pine. Put it together and put a couple of dimensions on the back. Now, I'm not too worried about gluing this part because it's going to sit in there like that behind the stock. Okay, now let's get some glue on the ends of these leaves. These ones I've die cut out of Peaceful Pine, and I'm just going to pop them in behind the flower. Put one there, and I'll put one down in here. Okay, so let's get that, and I'm just going to pop that so it's sitting like, there we go. It doesn't want to stick, it wants to stick to me instead. There we go. On top there. Then I've got my daisies. I've got a dimensional on the back of these, and I'm going to start building this up. So I'm going to put one I think I might put one. I might put 4 on this one. Okay. And I've got that one upside down. I want it the other way. I want it that way. Okay. Now, got another one here. And I will put this one down here so that it's partly on the get the back off this one, and I'm going to put that one up there, and I think I want to put one more on it. I haven't got a dimensional on it, but that I can fix. Pop it across there, and I'm going to pop it right there. And I think that I could put a couple more leaves on this side. Put one there. So turn that over, pop it in there. Okay, now I think that's all I need. Okay, I want to put, I've got some embellishments, which are here. They come with the set, some flowers, and I'm going to put a couple of white ones. One white one on the top, I think. And we'll take one of the large ones. Oh, I've got them sitting out already. What am I doing? So they come in a big pack like that, and I have them already cut off. You see, I'm so organized today. Pop that up there. Okay, now to finish the card off, let's take this tape off. 1, 2, and pop this on the front so it's centered. So this all folds flat. You can fold it that way, or you can fold it that way. You see that? I'm just going to pop that in there like that. Now, can you see how that's better? So when you set it up, it sits up like that, and you just have to flex it so that it sits. Okay, now on the back, I thought I might put some leaves just down the bottom. Don't know if I did this in the other one. And a couple of flowers. So I'm just going to put them flat on the card. One there. And should I do another one? Oh, I think I might leave that. Okay, so that's the back of my card, and then I can write up there. One other thing I want to do is to put, got a small one here, which I will put there, and a large one up there. Okay, so that's sitting. So when you look at the front of the card, you can see how it looks. Okay, so these are all extras that I made. I could have put that little guy there if I wanted to, but I'm happy with what I've done. Okay, so let's pop all of that back in here so I don't get it all mixed up. I can use it later on other cards. And this, and that's card number 1 done. Now, for the next cards that I've made, when we were on stage, we were given a 6x6 template for doing one-sheet wonders. Now, I've had mine sitting in a box since then, so I'm going to show it to you. This is it here. Okay, so this is a 6x6, and this shows you one of the ways you can cut it. Look, if you go on the internet, you'll find lots of ways to cut it. So I cut out in the green loads and loads of the papers, and I'm going to show you 2 of the finished cards that I've done. I made 5 cards with this. It's one sheet wonder. You can make as many as you like. So I did this one because that takes that there. and I added a little border from An Extraordinary Life. Um, this is actually a punch, which I've made thinner. It's actually wider than that, and then I've just die cut some flowers, or I actually fussy cut some of those. That one's die cut, and stuck them on it. And then on the inside, I used one of these squares, which I cut in half, placed it on Peaceful Pine on each corner, and that's one of the cards I made. And just added some of the in color pearls or in color dots on it. This is the other one I made. And in this one, I used Stone and Vine in the back. And I'm going to show you this in a minute. I used this in the front, and I used some of that lovely velvet paper there. Down here, I used one of the sentiments from our foiling machine. I'm so lucky to have you. And inside, I just added the other strip, which is this one on the card. So I did those two pre the broadcast this morning. But let me show you. This is a floral spray embossing folder here. It's very large, but this is what you get when you use it. Isn't that beautiful? So I just did that off, and I can use that. It's got Lily of the Valley, and I think that's a rose on it, and some daisies, and you can color it. You can do all sorts of things, but you can see that I used it on this one by just cutting a piece of it and using it on that there. So that's just something that I've used on these cards. So let's quickly put these together. Now, I'm going to do this one first. I've prepared everything. So for this one, I've used the other side of this, and I've used the embossing folder, the Fern and Flora one. And let me grab my tape. That's the side I want out. I'm just going to put some tape along the back. I've used a Peaceful Pine base. I'll pop that in place. Okay, I don't think I put an insert in for that one. Okay, so this is going to go on top over here. So let's pop that on the Peaceful Pine. And pop that on there. And I think I'll put this on dimensionals. Just quickly. I could put it straight on the card, but I think I want to do this one on dimensionals. And one there. And I'll pop one in the middle. Okay. So I'm just putting my little bits to the side here. And already it's off it. And that one it's off. That one it isn't. And that one it isn't. Okay. And I'm going to pop that on the left hand side like that. Okay. Then I've got bits and pieces here. So I've got, this is cut out of the velvet, and this is the Fern and Flora. This is cut out of this here, and then I've used Peaceful Pine on top. Actually, it's not. It's cut out of white velvet, the white velvet, and then I've used a blending brush with Peaceful Pine. So you can see it's almost the same tone as that. So what I will do is I will stick these down, and only need to stick really the head down a little bit, and just going to make an arrangement here. Doesn't matter about the stem at the moment, just the top. This is one I made up on the spot, and pop it over, and this one's on the Peaceful Pine or on the green velvet. Okay, so I've got those two, and then I've got some leaves that I'm going to use. Turn them over and put some glue on the wrong side. Turn it back. Place these here. And we've got another one. Okay. I'm going to pop that one there. Okay. Now I've got, and they don't want to stick on the velvet. I do have my silicone mat here somewhere on the table because I was using it, but that's fine. Then I've got cut this. I've stamped it on the green side. I've done a ribbon, one piece for pine, and then I've just tied this and punched a little hole in it and tied it, and it's going to go on like that at the bottom. Okay, so let's do that. I actually think what I want to do in this one is I'm going to use a couple of things. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on there, and I think I will put a dimensional on the cardstock as well, or on the ribbon, sorry, talking to myself here. And I'm just going to pop it on like that. Okay, now I will get my other flowers that I have. They're hiding here somewhere on my table. I saw them a few minutes ago, but they've gone to sleep. Okay, there they are. This one here. And I think I'm going to use the butterflies on this one. These are cute butterflies when I get it opened. These are in the in colors. And I think I'm going to use a green one there. And another green one down there. And maybe a small green one on the end. Whoops, where did it go? There it is. Small green one on the end of the things, like that. And that's that card. Oh, pardon me. Now, for this one. This is this bit here. And I debated and debated what I should do with this one. In the end, I stuck this on some for Pine DSP, and I'm going to pop it on there. So let's just take that, and that, and that, and that, and we're going to place that on the white, like that there. Then I've got a piece of beige. So this is the embossing folder that I had, that I've used. And I'm just going to place that on the basic beige. And then this is going to go straight on the front of the card. Like that. There. Now I could leave it at that, but I'm going to pop so many reasons to celebrate up the top. So let me get my dimensionals. 1, 2, 3. Got a little bit of a sniffy nose this morning. It's actually been quite a cold morning, but the sky is clear, clear blue. It's really pretty outside. Where will I put this? I think I want to put it up here. I know I'm putting it over the top of that, but that's okay. And then I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. And this is done in the velvet cardstock. I get it to squeeze out. What I need to do is to leave it upside down so it drops back down in again to the nozzle. I'll pop it on, and I've got this very cool 3 printed thing to hold it up that Sharon, my upline, made. I've lost my little green leaf, which is probably stuck to me somewhere in the midst of that. Oh well, I can get another one. I just did it. I was just checking to see where it had gone, and it'll turn out, but I have a spare one in that, which I will use. See, it's fallen probably on my lap or something. This one here, and I will use that one. I know you watched me put glue on it, so I suspect it's on my jacket somewhere. And maybe you can spy it and I can't. Okay, take that off the front. And I'm just going to pop that in like that. And then on top, I'm going to get some of my, what should I use? This one. I might use some of those green butterflies again. One up there. And I actually might use a white one as well. Just there. And another green one down there. There it is. The one that I just did. But guess what? I'm going to put that on the inside like that. And do my insert. So there you go. I knew it would turn up. And that's the next card. And the final card today, I believe. Yeah, this is the final one I'm doing with the cutting out. And I have to remember this one because so I've got my little squares. I'm going to turn these over. Got 3 squares and that. So let's put some tape on the back of these. I'll pop that one on the middle of a square. The next one, set to the side. Next one in the middle of a square. And this one in the middle of the square. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is to get my piece of pine ribbon, and I'm going to pop it down the bottom here. Okay, so I want to pop some tape here, some tape here. I'm doing that first because I want to put the ribbon on it. Okay, just working out which is the right side of the ribbon. And I'm going to pop that about there. And on that side the same. Okay, doesn't want to stick. Maybe want to put that one a little bit higher up, I think. It's just a little bit too low. Let's pop it up to about there. I think that would be better. That's straight. Pop it on the card, and I've used the Fern and Flora embossing folder in this on the wrong side. Okay, and then this is going to go on here with these behind it, but let's pop these on next. So turn them all over and grab my dimensionals, and I'm going to put 4 on each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 there, 2, 3, and 4th one. Okay, these are going to go up here like this, just to show you. I'll just set them there for a minute so I decide what I'm going to put where. Okay, I think that that top one is not quite centered enough, so let me see if I can get it off and move it a little bit so it's right in the center of the square. That looks better. Okay, now got to do my two outside ones first. One, put it quite close to the edge. And this one, actually, I'll leave that one for the middle, I think. I'll do this one for the other side. 2, 3, 4. I'll put that one there. And then this one's going to go in the middle. And this used 3 of the little squares. I want to move it over a tiny bit so that it's got a little bit of space. So that's there. Then I've got You Always Make Me Smile, and that's going to go on down here. And I'm just going to grab a couple of dimensionals for that. One at that side, one at that side, and one in the middle. Gosh, do you know what? So I think that's the only ones I've cut, and that's perfect for what I want. So pull that off, and that off. And they're all sticky, and it's going to go on top of this. Okay, move it over into the middle. You Always Make Me Smile. And then I've got my 2 leaves to finish off. There, there, and there. And I'll pop one. Oh, I might pop it down here actually. One there, and one on the other side. Tucking it in behind. Because of the dimensionals, you can tuck it in behind what you've got. And I might pop that one down here. Like that. Now, I think on this one, let me have a look what I want to do. Do I want to, or do I not? I think I might add a little bit of these ones. I think I still want to use the green ones. One there, and maybe one be near it, and another small one up in there. And in the inside, I've got this, and I've just used a strip of the paper. And there we go. And pop that on there. And it's complete. So this is from my 6x6. That one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. And then we have this one. So let's flip that over so that you can, oh, whoops, gone too far. I was going to show you all 4 of them. There we go. Could pop that one up there. And that's, well, 5 of them. So these are all from the One Sheet Wonder. It shows you what you can do with just one color. And then I've done this one with the other one. So yeah, so as I say, I'm not ready to say goodbye to the catalogue yet, but there are lots of lovely things in the new catalogue as well. But you'll have to wait a few weeks for that. So next week, I'm actually going to be looking at some kits next week and giving you a taste of a couple of kits. And then the following week, I think I'm going to be doing Scenic Coast again, because I do love that one. So yeah, so that's me for today. And next week when I see you, it will be August. Can you believe how fast the time's going? My husband and I celebrated our 46th wedding anniversary last Saturday. and it was quite incredible. Like, I can't believe that it's 46 years since we got married, but it's been 46 years. And yeah, so I will see you next time, and take care, everyone. Bye.